Welcome to vlog number 3. The last week out west. We are in Grand Teton National Park, or just outside of it, and I hope you can see the Teton Range right behind me. I'm gonna show you around in a second. We're staying on a ranch called Heartsticks Ranch, and this is our view. So we left Yellowstone yesterday and drove here through Grand Teton National Park. So both parks are basically almost bordering each other. Like, it's just a short driveway in between. Traveling isn't always glamorous. Like, I felt kind of disappointed because the weather was a bit gloomy, and so the Teton Range didn't really come out in all its splendor. And I have been here 5 years ago and it was absolutely magnificent. I remember back then I loved Grand Teton almost more than Yellowstone. So I was a bit disappointed. And so today we are going down to Jackson Hole. I've been there too. It's a cute little western town with lots of nice shops and art installation stuff. So I'm really excited for that. Before that, I'm going to show you around on this beautiful ranch. So they have all these cute wagons here, and there are the Tetons in the back. And then this is what the cabins look like. So this is not our cabin, but ours looks just the same. So they're really cute wooden cabins. It's all really cute and feeling super cool. And then here are their horses. They have so many horses. Like, they have even more down on the other meadow. You can do horseback riding here and adventure trips and all of that. So again, time for an update. It is Monday, August 29, I believe. Yeah. And so it is our last start of the week out here in the west. Yesterday we went to Jackson Hole and that was really lovely. Like, the town was super cute. I'm just trying to find some, oh yeah, that's good. Anyway, the town of Jackson Hole is super cute. We found so many cute little things. Like, they have lots of art galleries, but also shops. I mean, some of them are obviously pretty touristy, but others are quite nice. There was a furniture store that had the coolest wooden beds. I would have loved to take one of these. Anyway, so that was yesterday. Yesterday was really nice. Today was not our day. So we checked out of our ranch where we stayed the past 2 nights, and they kind of scammed us. Like, they took my dad's credit card when we got there, although I had put mine in the reservation on Booking.com. And then today when we checked out, he said the invoice would be mailed to me, which it was, but then it said like $570, and my booking reservation on Booking.com was definitely much less than that. So I emailed him and asked him if he could double check that, and if that's maybe there's a mistake or anything, because that just can't be it. And so far I haven't gotten an answer, but by the point that he emailed our invoice, we were already too far away to turn around and go back. So I really hope that's just kind of a misunderstanding and some mistake on their side and not like a scam. That would not be really cool. Because the place actually was really nice. I mean, it was simple, but the views were among the best that we've had, like in terms of accommodations. Anyway, so that was the first fail of the day. We then went to Fort Washakie on Wind River Reservation. That was where I was supposed to meet someone that, a woman that I'd met on Friday during the Revisiting Cultural Landscapes tour. She'd connected us because he's her colleague. And like, she was so nice and kind, and she wrote a super long email and did so much. And then we went there, like we had agreed to meet today at 2 p.m. And we got there, like we were early, but then I like walked up to his office at 2 and there was nobody in there. Like I could look inside. There was definitely no one in there. So we waited for, I guess, 30 minutes-ish. And then we decided to just let it go. So I'm gonna write him an email later and ask what happened. So maybe that was a misunderstanding too, I don't know. And then we wanted to go to like a cultural center but couldn't find that either, so we decided to go to Riverton. So we drove to Riverton and our first stop was the Wind River Hotel and Casino. So because they usually do powwows there every Tuesday in August. So tomorrow is Tuesday, and so I wanted to ask about this. And then the woman told me that they had stopped doing that about 2 weeks ago. So no powwow for us. And then when we drove on through the reservation, like everything here is just very poor. And I don't know if, like, I don't know all the background stuff on that, but it really seems like people here are very poor and probably don't have the resources to fix up their homes. There is like broken cars everywhere, broken windows in homes. So it's really heart-wrenching to watch that. It was the same when we drove to the Blackfeet Reservation, especially in and around Browning, Montana. And here it's really similar. So, well, then it was about 3:30 and we decided to just go to our motel and get some work done until dinner. Because the Heritage Center at Riverton that we wanted to visit closes at 4, so we said we were going to do that tomorrow. So we checked into the motel, and it looked a little ramshackle too. We asked for a non-smoking room, we got a smoking room. Oops, so it smells. But the scariest thing about it is when we pulled into the like parking lot, I saw one of these concrete stamps looked really bad. So this is what I mean by it looks bad. Like it's broken all the way here and then up there, and then this is the first floor. And I was like, oh my goodness, this looks so scary. Like this looks like it's gonna break and crash down any minute. Anyway, guess which room we got? Yeah, right, the one right up there, right above this thing. So I'm just praying that this is gonna hold. Anyway, it kind of feels really, I don't know, I've been having a weird feeling all day. And so I suggested to my dad, hey, we could like leave here one day early because it doesn't seem like I'm going to get much information from people here. We do want to like visit the Heritage Center though tomorrow morning, but then instead of staying another night, which doesn't really make any sense because there's nothing for us to do here, and now that the powwow isn't happening either, why would we stay another day? So what we did is we rebooked our stay in Cody, Wyoming. Like we just moved it forward one day, so we're driving to Cody tomorrow instead of Wednesday, and then leaving Cody on Thursday, and then driving to Billings, Montana one day early too. And so we got some time to check out Billings, because normally we would have just stayed there for half a night and then gotten up at 4 because our flight leaves at 7 a.m. But anyway, so now luckily I was able to, you know, cancel the bookings that I had or rearrange them. So I booked everything via booking.com. This is not sponsored, but I'm really glad I did because their services are really flexible, and so the cancellation was free, which was good. I mean, obviously here we're probably going to have to pay like the second night that we're not staying, but this is by far the cheapest accommodation that we've had on the entire trip. And so by moving our stay in Cody forward, it got cheaper somehow, so it kind of balances out. Yeah, and so now it's like, I don't know, 5:30. So yeah, we are working, then having dinner, going to bed, and then leaving this place tomorrow. Crazy day. Hello from Billings, Montana. I am possibly the world's worst vlogger. I didn't take up the camera for 3 days, but nothing exciting really happened. So I think I last gave you an update when we were in our ramshackle accommodation in Riverton, and I think I also said that we were planning to leave a day early, and that is what we did. So we drove up to Cody, Wyoming on Tuesday, and then when we arrived, went straight to the Buffalo Bill Center of the West, which is a huge center that houses 5 museums under one roof. And we managed to visit 3: the Plains Indians Museum, the Buffalo Bill Museum, and the Natural Science, I believe it is. And they were all really cool. I love how Americans design their museums. They're always super interactive and interesting. So that was a great experience. And then, well, our motel was pretty much right next to the center. So on Wednesday, we explored Old Trail Town. That's basically a replica of an old western town as Buffalo Bill would have founded Cody back in the day. So that was pretty cool. And then for the rest of the day, we just relaxed by the pool, and I got a head start on editing the first vlog. It took me about 2 hours to just edit the intro, so expect these vlogs coming sometime next year. No, just kidding. Yeah, and that's what we did. And then obviously last night we went to Cody Night Rodeo, which is the attraction, the event in the area. So they do that every night, June, July, and August. So actually yesterday was the last rodeo of the season, which was cool because we were there just in time. And it was really quite the show. Like, the atmosphere and the vibe was pretty cool, but the way the animals are treated, like, I don't agree with that. So I think that will be the only rodeo that I will visit. Nevertheless, it was cool to have seen it. But yeah, I'll insert some clips that look pretty crazy actually. And then today we left Cody and drove to Hart Mountain, which doesn't have to do anything with my thesis, but I learned about Hart Mountain Japanese American relocation, they call it. Our professor called it internment camp. So basically after World War II, or during World War II, after the attack on Pearl Harbor, all Japanese American citizens who had the face of the enemy were forcibly removed from their homes in California, Washington, Oregon, and they were brought to 10 internment camps, and one of them was Hart Mountain, Wyoming. And so since I'd learned about that in class 3 years ago, we went there, and it was really quite depressing to see this, but also quite impressive to see what the Japanese American people there made out of their situation. So Google that if you've never heard of it. I think that's an important part of American history that's probably not as well known. And yeah, then we drove up here to Billings, so we are back in Montana. Billings is the town we're flying out of. We've got one last day out west tomorrow, and we'll probably drive over to the battlefield of the Little Bighorn, which is a national monument on the Crow Reservation. And then maybe I can do some more research there.